4 GB of video RAM for the RX480. Is that a bad choice or a good choice? Actually, my Sapphire is the 4 GB version, but there's actually just a sticker on top of the box and is actually a 8 GB version. This is old news. There were a lot of RX480 that were sold as 4 GB, even though physically they have 8 GB of RAM on them. I checked my card has Samsung video RAM chips, which will suggest that it's actually physically the 8 GB card. Now, I could easily flash a new BIOS on my card, making it 8 GB, but even then, I don't really want to do it. Well, mainly, yeah, because I don't want to really bother with that, because I don't think it's really necessary. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad if you bought the 8 GB version, if it make you feel better to have 8 GB, or if you make you feel future-proof. But, you know, the reality is how future-proof it's going to be. In 2 years, maybe 3, you will like to change your video card regardless. And I actually wanted to test the 4 GB RX480 to see how much video RAM is actually utilized as we talk with current games. And I know the argument is like, yeah, it may be fine for now, but what about 1 year in the future or when the new games are coming out? Now, let's consider that the NVIDIA cards, the base models, are coming with 3 GB of video RAM. And game developer, they don't want to lose all that space of market of people has a 3 GB video card. On the other hand, the high-end version of the GTX card is 6 GB, right? So 4 GB is sitting, I think, in a nice spot. And yes, maybe true that in the future there may be games that will eventually require more than 4 GB. But in my opinion, not in the foreseeable future we are going to see games that actually has more than 4 GB of VRAM as a requirement. I think that you will still be able to play fairly nicely with 4 GB of RAM for quite a good amount of time. So this is just my opinion, but how I'm going to prove that? Well, I'm going to show you, just after this pointless rambling, just some footage of Fallout 4 running a 1440p at ultra settings with the new high resolution texture pack. And how does it play? Well, we will see now the videos. There's the video, there it goes, and as you can see, the amount of video RAM that is getting consumed is close to 4 GB. It's 3800 at a certain point, 2900. And mind that, yeah, you will see now some dip in the frames, some bad ones, especially when I get into Diamond City, the frame rate was dropping dramatically. But looks like it was dropping dramatically just at the first load. Then I start to just run around Diamond City without any problem at all, and it was just quite smooth. And look at the fact that I was actually recording with my webcam as well active. I don't know why, because my face is just there boring, but I just figured, wait, let's put my face in there. And honestly, when I play without recording and without a webcam being recorded, it's actually playing very smoothly. It's not hitting 60 frames per second, but we are talking here 1440p with a mod with high definition texture. Now, if the 4 GB version of the RX can push this, I don't see any real problem in the foreseeable future with upcoming games either. Yeah, maybe I won't be able to use high resolution texture with other games, but more likely I won't be able to play in 1440p anyway, and we'll have to settle on 1080p. The main thing I want to say here is the RX480 is a mid-range card, mid-high, right? So you may aim for certain game to play on 1440, like here Fallout, no problem at ultra setting. But you know, if you have to settle for high at 1080, that's what this card is aiming for, right? If you really want to have something that will allow you to play 4K or play a high resolution, really look somewhere else. Maybe wait for the new Vega. But I'd say that 4 GB is more than enough, and waste your money on 8 GB version. I don't think it's worth it for the RX480. Maybe it will make sense if you do a crossfire, maybe you will have enough computing power to justify the 8 GB of video RAM, but really I don't see game developer really pushing far more than 4 GB, at least in the foreseeable future. Again, as you can see here, the gameplay that is rolling off Fallout, right? It's just handling it fine, almost 60 frames per second, 1440p, ultra setting with the mode of high resolution texture, and it's just handling it fine. So my take is go for the 4 GB version if the budget is important to you. With those bugs that you say, maybe you can get a new keyboard or a better mouse, or you know, just pay for some ice cream. I don't know, it's just money. Now, there are pretty good deals at the moment on the RX480. So maybe if you find it for a very good price, you may consider get an 8 GB. But you know, if you have the choice between buying an 8 GB with the reference design or buying with 4 GB with a custom cooler, definitely it's better to buy the custom cooler one. You're not going to use those 8 GB of video RAM anytime soon, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. I try to back up what I'm saying with this recording of Fallout 4, and I would like to know also your comments. Did you went for the 4 GB version and you regret it? Or did you buy a 4 GB that has 8 GB of RAM and you're going to flash a new BIOS because you really feel you need those 8 GB? Or like me, you believe that it's not really a big deal, and yeah, unless you want to go for the PC master race and just have 8 GB because I want 8 GB, do you really think it's worth it to spend more money for something you're not going to use? Alright guys, I hope that this video was interesting, and to just recap, I'm actually running Fallout 4 on an i5-4460, so not a huge CPU there, and it's not a very optimized game, right, as well, and still handle it fine. So really guys, 4 GB for me is the way to go. Let me know what you think, and feel free to comment and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thank you, and see you on the next one.